skills, and over 4 billion people in the world lacks access to internet. And this has been a major obstacle in economic growth, social inclusion, and education. And this has held a lot of people back from reaching their full potential. This is where digital literacy advocacy comes in. We are on a mission to empower individuals in digital skills and positioning them well in this fourth industrial revolution. This is me inviting you to join our team of digital literacy ambassadors, changing the narrative and bringing this into reality. Imagine the impact you could have made by helping just one person gain a digital skill. By doing that, you would help the person's income by 10% and the prospect for employment by 25%. As an ambassador, you would help the person to become much more inclined and understand the importance of technology, enhancing this world that we are. Are you ready to make a difference? Join us as a tech ambassador to create a digitally empowered society. Have you ever wondered how digital skills can change lives? Do you know that over 60% Africans lack basic digital skills and over 4 billion people in the world lacks access to internet? And this has been a major obstacle in economic growth, social inclusion, and education. And this has held a lot of people back from reaching their full potential. This is where digital literacy advocacy comes in. We are on a mission to empower individuals in digital skills and positioning them well in this fourth industrial revolution. This is me inviting you to join our team of digital literacy ambassadors, changing the narrative and bringing this into reality. Imagine the impact you could have made by helping just one person gain a digital skill. By doing that, you would help the person's income by 10% and the prospect for employment by 25%. As an ambassador, you would help the person to become much more inclined and understand the importance of technology, enhancing this world that we are. Are you ready to make a difference? Join us as a tech ambassador to create a digitally empowered society.
Hi everyone, good evening from wherever you're watching us all over the world. Good evening. Can I begin to see our comments in the comment section? It's so beautiful and wonderful to have us, in the house this beautiful evening here in Nigeria. It's 4 minutes past 7 o'clock and it's been so wonderful. We had 8 beautiful weeks of courses and learning in the Ladies in Tech Africa program. And, somehow we are wrapping up our learning stage or the learning phase of this program. I want to see in the comment section how it has been for us, where we are calling in from, where we are joining in this meeting from, and how the Ladies in Tech program has been for you. I can begin to see the comments rolling in already. Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to have us here. Blessing Emmanuel, Praise, Mohammed, Ganiyu, Abimbola, Ahmad, Owoyeye, Olanike, lots and lots of us, Juliet, Oshemaye. Good evening, everyone. Lovely to be here. I want us to do something very quickly. I know you have that friend who is not on this call, that partner, that person in your group chat who is not on this LinkedIn Live. Can you just begin to send a message across to them and say, don't miss what is going to happen this evening. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be wonderful. You can quickly send a message to them quickly to say, join in on the call, quickly, don't miss the train. Wonderful. Welcome to everyone. We want to appreciate each and every one of us for, being a part of this program. If there was no you, there would be no us in that sense. So we want to say a big thank you to each and every one of us, for joining us so far. We started on the 19th of August. And this is October. It has been wonderful. 2 whole months of immersive learning, beautiful learning. Somebody said it has been educative. Beautiful. I love that. Somebody said the impact has been great, amazing. I can really testify to that. I know we have lots of other comments like this, popping up. I want to see the comments. Somebody is saying, thank you, the Incubator Hub, for the opportunity. Yes, a big thank you to the Incubator Hub and African Missions Global. Yes, we have them in the house as well, and they'll be coming up shortly. Right. Yes. Somebody said, Glory Praise said that the program has been insightful. I have gained invaluable knowledge in product design through seasoned professionals. Amazing. I absolutely love that comment and that testimonial. Somebody says that I'm Chiamaka Obi from Oka, Anambra State. Wow, that's beautiful. She said that the cybersecurity course has really been impactful and insightful. Lovely, so lovely, lovely, and beautiful to hear that. I'm still expecting our comments, and while we are doing that, let me just pass across a bit of information. Once again, a big well done to each and every one of us. If you are here on this call, I must congratulate you specially and beautifulully. I can say that you are an amazing warrior. You made it, and I want you to put your hands together for yourself. You made it. 8 weeks, of almost going to 9 weeks. Lots of issues could have come up. Maybe your data, light, lots of issues. But you are here and you made it through the 9 weeks. You deserve all the accolades and all the thumbs up. And we are so proud of each and every one of you. Well done, big well done to you. Just by way of announcement, we are still going to have a more extensive time to pass across information and some announcement to us, but just to get it out of the way, we are finally done with the first phase of learning, which was immersive learning into each of the courses which we had. We had courses like product design, product management, project management, digital marketing, content and copywriting, data analysis, AWS cloud computing, cybersecurity. You can rep your classes in the comment section. Let's rep our classes in the comment section. Cybersecurity, I want to see us in the comment section. Yes, I'm absolutely loving the energy right here. So beautiful. So we are also coming up with the mentorship phase, which is the second aspect of the Ladies in Tech Africa program. Remember that we said we're not just going to leave you at the point of training. We are also going to take you through an immersive mentorship session where you have hands-on experience in putting to practice what you have learned in the past 8 to 9 weeks, right? That's beautiful, really beautiful. So get ready to dig and to dive deeper into what you have learned. Product management, I see you, I see you, I see you. So get ready to dive deep, into what you have learned for the past 9 weeks. And it's going to be a wonderful experience. I can assure you that it's going to be a wonderful experience. Also, I know we have the information that our examinations are coming up next week. Yes, but you actually have the whole week to attempt the examination. Let me not put in the examination because I know lots of us will be getting worried. Let's first have a wonderful time on the call, and then we get to talk about that much later on. So, on the call today, this evening, we are looking at a very interesting topic, a wonderful topic that will be beneficial to each and every one of us as we transition from this learning phase to the mentorship phase, eventually to the phase where we get into the digital workforce and we're able to put some of these things we have learned. We are looking at breaking barriers, practical steps to thriving in the digital economy. That can have a normal guest in the house. You have somebody supposed to be on this call and they're not here. Please just do justice and help your friend or your neighbor and tell them to get here. The interesting part or the exciting part about this webinar is that it is not only open to ladies, participants of the Ladies in Tech Africa program, it's also open to as many persons as possible. So yes, please just take a moment to go right now on your WhatsApp status, your Instagram stories, and just post this design and share the link as well. Don't let anybody, don't let anybody miss out from this wonderful session. We have a beautiful and a wonderful, phenomenal guest in the house, and she's going to be coming up pretty much soon. But before she comes up, we have a representative from the African Missions Global. African Missions Global, the Ladies in Tech Africa was actually powered by African Missions Global. I want to see some love in the comment section. Say thank you, AMG. God bless you, AMG. I want to see that in the comment section. We are going to be having a rep from that team, from the team, and she's going to be telling us a bit about what African Missions does and a global perspective about the program itself. So let us welcome Mrs. Deborah as she comes up stage.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. So let me quickly share my screen. Okay, Michelle, please can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So thank you very much once again for having us here. Very quickly, we'd like to just share about Africa Missions Global. Who are we? We are a faith-based NGO, non-for-profit organization, and our mission is simple. We want to rescue, empower, and reach out to humanity, leveraging on our three core pillars, which is to reach out, to restore, and to empower people. We don't just want to reach out to you and leave you where you are. We want to make sure that you are empowered to live a better life. And our vision is to be a leading global organization for charity. And we have these core values: where people of integrity, prayer, excellence, prudence. Of course, we love people. We are people of compassion. Without compassion, you will not be able to reach out to others. So this is simply describing who we are. And our mandate is taken from Matthew 25, from verse 35 to 40, which says that we are expected to feed the hungry. We're expected to give drink to those who are thirsty, welcome strangers, clothe the naked, and care for the sick, visit prisoners, and of course, empower the unskilled. And out of these mandates, we coined 7 of our core social actions, which is to educate Africa. We all know the importance of education. When you educate someone, you are not just liberating them, but you're liberating their whole generation. So we educate people, we feed, heal, which has to do with our health interventions, water, providing clean sources of water, free Africa, clothe Africa, and shelter Africa. So very quickly, our latest strategic goal has been to impact 100 million people, especially through value-based education initiatives. And we hope that we'll achieve this goal on or before the year 2033 by the grace of God. And as Lady Michelle said, this Ladies in Tech Africa program is actually one of the ways through which the African Missions Global is reaching out to the unreached to empower ladies now, but of course there's programs coming up for all gender so that they would be empowered to do what they ought to do. Just giving a very quick view of our education strategy, our focus is on out of school children, children with outdated curricula, and also the lack of early childhood. And we want to make reaching out to people is sustainable, not just for a little moment of time, but the impact to outlast even after the reach out has been done. And also we are leveraging on technology. As many of you are watching right now from whatever country and whatever location you are, it's empowered by technology. So we are riding on that. We, in partnership with Incubator Nigeria, the Incubator Hub, to reach out to as many as possible, and also to form strategic partnerships and to build a network of educators. So even we are believing that as you all are trained and you become experts in your field, hopefully you would also become one of the tutors later. And for this year, there are two key initiatives: the Vista Africa 2023, and then Swaziland, which is under the AfriLearn for African Missions Global. It is our learning platform where we reach out to solve country-specific needs. And the Swaziland has been designed to tailor fit the Kingdom of solve the education gap in the country. Ladies in Tech Africa falls under the Vista Africa program, which is our partnership with Incubator Hub, to help impact at least 10 million people through technology with digital skills by year 2033. And Swaziland come into place, like I mentioned, is to help the Kingdom of Eswatini close the gap of access to secondary school education. Also, like I said, 10 million people. It is possible, and we are going all out Africa for 13 countries, and they have been engaged so far. Michelle, please, can you confirm if you can see my slide? Can you see the ladies in tech now? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. I want to be sure that the slides are changing. Okay, so we have other upcoming programs in partnership with Incubator. We have the AI Bootcamp Code in Schools podcast. We also have other projects that deals with providing clean water, empowering people. And these are just some of the other projects that have been executed in this last year alone. For example, in Gabon, we reached out to a community, provided clean water, also initiative of having a had to do with vocational training. In Ethiopia, have in all these countries, and I hope. So we see in Ethiopia, there was a support for students in grade 1 to grade 12 to help them in their academics. In Sierra Leone, there was provision of food and access to free education in 11 communities in the eastern district of Kuno. So these are some of the projects that have been done. In Togo alone, we empowered 50 people with entrepreneurial skills, providing them with the right network to thrive in Lome. Also in Zimbabwe, we had Water Africa initiative. Also in the suburb of Gweru, we also provided water facilities. And in Zambia, good to know that in Zimbabwe, the water supply powered through Africa Missions Global has affected and benefited over 80,000 people. In Zimbabwe, there have been medical interventions. In Madagascar, distribution of schools, decks to students and to pupils. And of course, in Nigeria, there have been different projects as well. This is just a summary. Different lives have been impacted. In this last year, free summer school has been done for other people, for children who were having their summer breaks. Instead of them to be at home, they enjoyed free training powered by the youth wing of the African Missions Global. So these are just some of the achievements we have done. And of course, we are contributing to the SDGs. We are in collaboration with SDG 4, providing quality education, SDG 6, providing clean water. And of course, you can partner with us by reaching out to us. You can partner with us as we go on this audacious task of impacting 100 million lives in 10 years. We can do it together with you. You can reach out to us on our social media handles or just give us a call. Visit our website for more information. Thank you very much. Michelle?
All right. Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation. A huge thumbs up to everything African Missions is doing to change the narrative of the common African child or the common African tech ecosystem, right? To say a big thank you to African Missions Global, and more exploits to come, more ground to cover, most definitely. Thank you so much for coming up on the call, Mrs. Deborah. All right, so we are going to be moving very quickly.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're going to be moving very quickly to our topic for the day, our session for the day, right? And then we have a very wonderful, delectable, important personality, a change maker, a woman who is changing the narrative, of the tech industry. I'm going to read through her bio very shortly, and then we are going to have her come on the call and really just, give us that push that we need, give us, that transformative information that we need for our next phase, right? So I'm just going to run through our bio very quickly. Mrs. Kofo Akinkugbe is a trailblazing entrepreneur of tremendous energy and courage, passionate about innovative technology, and committed to changing the narrative in the manufacturing and gender perspective in Africa. She is the founder, group CEO of Secure ID Limited, a smart card manufacturing and personalization company certified by MasterCard, Visa, Verve, ISO 9901, amidst others. Mrs. Akinkugbe is a prize-winning graduate of mathematics from the University of Lagos and a Chevening Scholar from UK. She has attended several international leadership and personal development programs at leading global institutions, including the London Business School, amidst several other educational achievements. She currently serves as a member of both the Nigerian Industrial Policy and Competitiveness Advisory Council and Regulators Forum. She equally serves as an executive committee member at the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. In 2022, the federal government of Nigeria, in its continuous drive to appreciate and encourage high productivity, hard work, excellence among Nigerian entrepreneurs, awarded Mrs. Kofo Akinkugbe the National Productivity Order of Merit award during the 19th National Production Day at the State House in Abuja. In October 2022, Mrs. Akinkugbe was also conferred with the Officer of the Order of Niger (OON) at Nigeria's National Honors Award investiture by His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, who was the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She sits on the board of several local and multinational corporate, philanthropic, and humanitarian organizations, alongside her role as a wife and mother of two inspiring young women. I want us to put our hands together virtually, of course, and begin to appreciate our wonderful guest on the show tonight, on the call tonight. She's sitting pretty already, ready to dish out wisdom and a huge wealth of knowledge from us. I want you to take your pens, your paper, and get ready to be blown away, get ready to be immersed into wealth of wisdom, into wealth of knowledge, and that transformative energy that you need to kickstart your own digital career. Ladies in the house and gentlemen in the house, please let's welcome Mrs. Kofo Akinkugbe. Welcome, Ma. A big welcome to you, Ma.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome, and thank you for for that introduction. I would like to thank the African Missions and the Ladies in Tech community for putting this together. By the time I look at everyone, it just takes me back to my younger days. I studied mathematics, and obviously it wasn't a course that was so popular with women. So I've always found myself, different in whatever area. But I'll be coming to that and speaking more of that. But first of all, it's a pleasure to be here and to have a short conversation with you all. And I would like to extend my congratulations to those who have been through the training. And congratulations, the journey has just begun, and I wish you all well. I would also like to commend the African Missions, the Ladies in Tech, for this fantastic initiative. And I pray that you will continue to make all the impact possible. So I'm asked to speak on breaking barriers, practical steps. I will just talk a little bit about, some theory, but I will also give you practical stories about where I started, like all of you. here and how far, one has gone. First of all, to give glory to Almighty God for His mercy and for making this possible, and for His enablement to help me with His grace to impact on all of you. So, breaking barriers, that has been the story of my life. But breaking barriers in a digital economy or in a space where it is male dominated, I think makes it extra special. But just to talk about a digital economy, I mean, you've all been through all sorts of trainings to ensure that you own your space and your own niche within the digital space. The digital economy is rapidly reshaping how we live, how we work, how we do business, from online platforms to advanced technologies like AI, like artificial intelligence, like 3D technologies. We're talking about so many data analytics and so on and so forth. And, when we look at it, we look at online technologies, we look at the key drivers to the digital economy. So what are the key drivers? I mean, first is if I would have my slide move, if it's possible. This from the beginning. Right, thank you very much. So, as I said, the digital economy is rapidly reshaping itself, on how we live, how we do business, how we transact, and so on. From online platforms to advanced technologies, advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, like robotics, like 3D platforms as well. However, what we find out that women often face unique challenges that hinder them from their full participation in this space. And we need to look at why, and how do we, sort of break that, overturn those barriers. And so I'm hoping that from this webinar, we'll be able to, discuss not only the barriers, but how to break the barriers. And I will also be able to talk about my own personal story on how I have at least broken some of the barriers that I'm in. But let me just tell you a little bit of the company that we can go to the next slide, please. A little bit of the company that I run. Next slide, thank you. Right. So thank you. So I run a company and I founded a company in 2005 called Secure ID. So I'll just tell you what Secure ID, who Secure ID is and what it does. So Secure ID is a combination of a manufacturing company and also a technology company. So you can see the word manufacturing, you can already tell that that's a male-dominated space. And then technology is also a male-dominated space. And Secure ID makes smart cards. We produce smart cards from scratch. We serve 3 sectors. One is the banking sector. So what do we do for the banking sector? We produce all your MasterCards, your Visas, your Verve cards, these are probably smart cards you have in your wallets. So we do that for the banks in Nigeria. And we also service banks in 21 countries across Africa. Now, Secure ID also services the telecom industry. And what do we do for them? We produce SIM cards for for all the telecom operators, the MTNs, the Glo, the Airtel, the Nine Mobile. And then thirdly, we produce and develop solutions for government. So things like, multi-purpose ID cards, driver's license, transport solutions, health solutions, solutions to help government increase their internal generated revenue, but in a digital way. And we also have the potential to produce and create solutions around the passports, so the electronic passports. Secure ID is located in Lagos. It has a staff strength of just under 500 staff members. Started with one person in 2005, and we have grown to having just under 500 staff strength. As I said, we service clients spread across 21 countries. We are about launching a factory in Kenya. It does all of these things. It's a group, and it's a company that has 3 subsidiaries. The manufacturing subsidiary, then it has the digital company, which is called SID Digital, and then it has the transport payment solutions company, which is called TPS. I just thought I would give you that preamble of who Secure ID is. Now, many decades ago, I was probably like one of you, going into the STEM space, studying a course like mathematics, and where I was told that I was looked at by my lecturer, and he said, "Are you sure? You, mathematics?" And there were only about 3 women in the whole class, So I've always been in a place where I find myself different from, or in a male-dominated space, And so I want to encourage all of you that have taken this step to improve your skills in the digital space to keep it going, and that there is so much potential ahead of you. But let's go back to the theory of, the digital space and the digital economy. Like I said, the key drivers, are the online technologies, like we discussed, the e-commerce that's driving the digital economy as well, where a lot of transactions go on the platform, buying goods, selling goods, and even services are online now. And then digital services, banking has changed from our time. Everything is now online banking. You can open an account online. Even things like medicine, there's telemedicine, surgeries can even be done virtually. Digital marketing, where you don't have to have brick and mortar marketing. You can market your goods and products digitally. And then even entertainment platforms like Netflix and the Prime Video. So these are drivers that are, driving what we face. So the issue is, what is the relevance to women in tech? And then we would then go on to the common barriers that women face. I've talked about, women in STEM. And STEM, we're talking about the sciences, technologies, engineering, and mathematics. Why don't we have many ladies playing in that space? And I will talk a little bit about how I got to play in that space and the things I had to overcome, the internal fear that I had to overcome to not only play in that space, but to lead in that space. And for me, women are naturally very creative people. And so this is a space that, I believe that they can really thrive in. All right. Like I said, I'm in manufacturing and I'm in technology. So we're talking manufacturing. A lot of women find it very difficult to stay there. Okay, they have to look at machines, they have to operate machines, they probably have to work during shifts and so on. So that may be a little tough. But technology, what does it take? It just takes your brain. It takes the ability in you to be innovative, the ability to be creative, and that's what it takes. And I believe that that is very, very relevant for women, and it's a critical space for women to be a part of. There are a lot of job opportunities for software developers, for data scientists. There are all sorts of threats in cybersecurity. So opportunities in cybersecurity. There are opportunities in entrepreneurship for women that even want to start their own and make that difference and be an employer of labor. And as I said, the innovation and the representation bit. But what are the common barriers that women face in going into this? One is a stereotype, the internal fear. Women are often perceived as less capable, in highly technical roles, and there are not too many women, so there are not too many mentors. All right. So there's that internal fear, because it's only a few women that can't do that. The other thing is that we don't have too many girls in STEM, in the sciences, in technology, and in mathematics. We need to have, because that's where it starts from. All right. As I said to you, I'm a STEM girl. And I remember when I was studying in high school, I hated maths. There was no way that I would have ever seen myself studying maths in university. But I took it upon myself to overcome this fear. And thankfully, for the sort of father I have, he just was bent on us all to know maths. And one way or the other, I was able to overcome that fear. I went ahead for my O levels. I did additional, what they call add maths in those days. I don't know if they still have them. I did add maths, and then did my A levels in the sciences, and then went into university. And I was confused whether I wanted to do maths or whether I wanted to do computer science. And I remember I did my degree at the University of Lagos. And I remember when I walked in, and I thought, okay, I would do a combination of maths and computer science for my first year. And then I was supposed to choose what to major in on this from the second year to the third year. And I remember the comments my lecturer made saying things like, oh, you, maths? And I thought, okay. So rather than that, because I had overcome some sort of fear in high school, I was ready to make a point that I'm not just going to prove that I can do it, but I'm going to be the best at it. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I ended up getting the best prize in mathematics for the faculty, and ended up really loving the course. And I went ahead and did maths. However, going forward, I saw that what I did not want to do was to lecture in mathematics, but I wanted to do the practical side of maths. How can I use the problem-solving skills that I have created? How can I use the cognitive skills that I have imbibed? How can I use it in the practical world? And then I went into banking, and then from banking went into starting up, going into the entrepreneurial journey. So one is the gender biases, the stereotypes. I can't do it, but you can. And if people like us could do it, then we can. When I started Secure ID to make smart cards, the one thing I did was I looked at that space and I saw a huge gap. Nigeria was using more of cash and not electronic ways of making payments. Some of you are very young, so you might not remember in those days how we used to transact and make payments. Now, the few cards we were using and the way we are transacting electronically, it was based on old technology. So we were using magnetic stripe technology. Okay. And of course, with magnetic stripe technology, it comes with a lot of fraud. All right. So that was when we used to have 419 in those days. So the fraud level was extremely high and so on. In those days, we didn't have people with cyber security, expertise. But because of the fact that, when I talk about my background, there was an internal fear that one had overcome. So it was very easy for me to see that opportunity and to say to myself that I can do it. I can do something about this problem. And that led me to come up with a vision of having a smart card company, not based on magnetic technology, magnetic stripe technology, but based on chip and pin technology, which is what we all use today. And when I looked at it, when I had that dream and that vision, there was no such company in Nigeria. So it then meant that I would have to be the first. There was no such company in sub-Sahara Africa. So that became even more frightening. So because of the determination and the persistence and the resilience, and then just the self-belief that I can do this and this will add good value to the payment industry, I had to benchmark myself against the number one in the world. Now, I tell you, everybody told me that I was just dreaming and this was not going to be possible because Nigeria is not ready for it. Anyway, to cut the long story short, what I'm saying to you is that as women, self-belief and that internal strength that you have in you that tells you that you can make that difference in the digital world that we all belong to. Not only make that difference, you can see a problem and that problem becomes an opportunity for you. And you're passionate about solving that problem. So those gender biases, those stereotypes, that didn't stop me and it shouldn't stop you. So I set up the first smart card company in Nigeria, for Africa. It was certified internationally by MasterCard, by Visa, and most of these international bodies. Not on magnetic stripe technology, which we were using at the time, but on new technology, which was a chip and pin, which at the time I was told it was very difficult, that this could never happen in Africa, but it did. So as barriers, if we women, these are the barriers that we face, and if we can overcome these gender barriers and stereotypes, we will really go places. The other thing is lack of access to education and resource. As I said to you, it starts from our young girls, okay? How, what sort of education and what sort of background have they had that will make them relevant in the digital space? We don't have many girls that do STEM. We must get more girls that do STEM. So whether it's computer training, whether it's training yourselves with organizations like Tech for Dev, whatever it is, those organizations are helping to bridge the gap. The other thing is the limited networking opportunities. Like I've said, the tech ecosystem, we do not have enough women. Therefore, we do not have enough mentors. So that needs to be improved upon so that it helps our young ladies to believe in themselves when they see women that have made such a difference. And then, of course, a lot of barriers to are things like work-life balance. You're married, you have children, you feel that this sort of space would take a lot of your time. I mean, I would tell you, I was in banking for 12 years. And I left banking because I wanted to spend more time with my children, with my babies at the time. But I also knew that I wanted to do something because I wasn't the sort to just sit at home. And when I decided to go on this entrepreneurial journey, I thought it would be a lot easier for me that, okay, it's my business, so I should be able to have time for the children. I didn't realize that it's even more difficult, because you're doing something that is creating value and you want to see it continue to create value. So the work-life balance as well is a major barrier to entry for women. But I tell you that if I can do it, you can do it. With the work-life balance, you need to have that support system around you. And, knowing that true success is not just being successful in your career, but successful as a wife and successful as a mother. Now, so how do we break these barriers? Next slide, please. How do we break the barriers? What do we need to do? I discussed it, self-belief, overcoming that imposter syndrome. Yes, when I had the idea, people said it can't be done, but I told myself I can do it, and I say to a lot of entrepreneurs starting up, I started the company with just one person, and today we're under 500. We started the company focusing on the Nigerian market. Today we're exporting to 21 countries. So it can be done. And having that STEM background with everything you're doing just helps you to plan. The thing about STEM and what I find about having a STEM background, whether it's computer science, whether it's mathematics, is that it allows you to approach issues in a very logical manner. Because it's one thing to dream, but it's another thing to execute that dream. Everybody dreams, but not all dreams become a reality. All right. So what happens between the dream and the reality is your execution model. And STEM helps you with that execution model. All right. So breaking those barriers, believe in yourself. Have a mindset of continuous learning, a growth mindset. How can I do things better? I always say after about 10 years or so of the company, because the company will be 20 years next year, I said to my team members, I said, one day I'm going to walk into a room, and when I ask people, how do you transact your banking? How many of you have bank cards? We may not have that many people because the digital world is just evolving. They may have other ways of doing it. How do you identify yourself? They may have a chip in their thumb or in their fingers, So I said that, look, we're sitting here, we've invested so much in doing this, but we need to think of in 5 years' time, are we going to become irrelevant? Is somebody going to come and disrupt us? Therefore, everything that we have done is no longer relevant. But we had a growth mindset. We kept asking ourselves, how can we do what we're doing even better? How can we improve on what we're doing? Yes, I know this, but how can I continually do this? Okay. And how can I disrupt myself? So, you know what we did? We set up another company, and that's SID Digital. And what was their mandate? We said to them, we want you to disrupt us. Everything we're doing, disrupt it. So if we do national ID cards, do a digital card. If we are doing SIM cards, do an eSIM. If we're doing cards, banking cards, do a digital card. You know, basically disrupting ourselves. You keep thinking, you know, what will 5 years look like? How can I continue to improve? Not sitting down and thinking that, okay, you've arrived. And then the confidence building, you know, is other ways of breaking those barriers, projecting your abilities in a male dominated space. Like I said to you, we were the first to start. And of course, when we started, we basically had the entire market because there was no other company that was certified to do that for 2-3 years. But guess what? We said to ourselves, competition is going to come. So when competition comes, we need to have raised the bar. So we kept continually improving on what we're doing. By the time competition came, we had already gone far above, and they had to keep running. By the time they think that they are catching up, we've gone far above again. So, and that space is dominated by the male. So we as women, as a female entrepreneur, I was not only playing in a male-dominated space, but also leading in that space. And what we find about ladies that you have to basically almost work 10 times harder to prove your point. And so when we go to practical steps to thrive in the digital economy, which is something that we've spoken about, if we change the slide, you need to upskill, you need to reskill yourself regularly, whether you're an entrepreneur, an employer of labor, or whether you're working within an organization and you want to do better, all right? You need to keep upskilling yourself, keep reskilling yourself because things are changing, all right? And some of the other things you need to do is to leverage free or affordable learning platforms, learn a lot, be self-motivated. There's so many platforms that you can use to increase your skills. Don't be content with where you are. And then you need to sort of build your own digital portfolio, whether it's your LinkedIn, whether it's a platform like GitHub where you can talk about what you've done and so on, so you need to keep showcasing your skills. Network and mentorship. Find yourself a mentor, all right? Join organizations like Ladies in Tech, under African Mission. Join them, learn new things. Continue to dream big, but start small and scale very fast. So these are things that we can do, and all of these is powered by community. Next slide, is powered by collaboration, among women. When women see other women thriving, they are encouraged, So join tech communities. Some of the organizations, like we said, are Ladies in Tech. Women Who Code is another platform. Be open to support and give back. As you advance in your career, consider giving back to the community. On the next slide, we will talk about, some of the trends to watch, as you're going the future for women in tech. There's AI, which we all talk about. And as AI grows, there's demand for diverse perspective. A lot of companies use AI, to know their customer better, to perceive where and what their customer can do. They use it for competition. It gives them a competitive advantage. Cybersecurity is also a very important area because as new technology trends are going on, there are also hackers improving and getting better and better. So we need cybersecurity experts to do that. Blockchain is another technology that is being used to revolutionize finance, supply chains, and just offering numerous opportunities for women innovators. Data analytics, data sciences is also something that is used to, to make good and accurate decisions as well. So also, sort of additional non-tech that, product management, how do you take the product you've developed? Is one thing to develop a product, but it's another thing to get that product to the market, to get it market ready, And then when you get it market ready and you're able to sell, is another thing, is another level to then retain the relevance of that product, So it goes, there's just so much opportunities and so much to learn. At Secure ID, if we go to the next slide, some of the ways that, some of the things that we have done is just a few that are here. I can remember when we had a lot of, I don't know whether but we have where a lot of states had ghost workers, so we helped a lot of states within the government, to eliminate ghost workers because they were paying salaries to workers that do not exist. So we created some kind of identity card for them, but an identity card that also acts like a time and attendance. There is also a payment card that also has your biometrics, your fingerprint in it, so that nobody's impersonating the other. The other things that we have done is even playing in the SIM cards, all right, and creating eSIMs technology as well. Other things that we have done is in the transport industry, instead of depending on tickets, paper tickets, but to automate it. And when we're able to automate it, whether it's for the railway system or so on, they were able to 3 times their revenue, So it's one thing to create a digital product, but what impact is it having? And then having for e-governance, having a health solution, a transport solution, capturing data, what they call using technology for digital currencies to ensure that when government is sending money out to the people in rural areas where there's no internet, where there's no network, how does that money get to them? So offline, products. So these are areas that we have taken part in, apart from IoTs, like eSIMs and so on. Conclusion, as I recap on what we have talked about is we've talked about the breaking barriers, the practical steps, and so on and so forth. So, I really encourage each of you to start small on your journey on the digital economy. Every significant change begins with a single step, whether it's learning, whether it's a new skill, or whether it's launching a project or seeking out, mentorship. Stay persistent, don't give up. Stay relevant, know what is going on. Increase your skills and believe that you can make that change, even if it's from your own small space. You can become a Paystack or a Flutterwave tomorrow. Lastly, let's support each other. Let's build a strong community, and together our efforts will lead to monumental changes. So again, let's pave the way for a brighter future for the digital economy, for the opportunities that are there. And I would like to congratulate all the graduates and all the trainees, and wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow. This is wonderful. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Mark, for this wonderful, very wonderful charge, very wonderful presentation. We have been greatly blessed. Let me put it that way. We've been greatly blessed. And then I'm just personally really just fascinated by some of the things that you have shared, Mark. And one of the things that stood out for me was when you said you had a company that was already producing, this regular SIM cards, regular smart cards, but then you recreated another company just to more like, just more like creating your own competition, right? You're not even waiting for people to start competing with you. You created your own competition. We're going to have questions, Ma, very shortly, but I just want to, ask that what inspired that particular decision? Why did you choose to, create your own competition in that sense? What inspired you to do that, Ma?
We're talking about, growth mindset. It's not enough to learn and whatever. The digital space is always revolving. You can't stay in one place. Uh, if you stay, there's a short life for every technology and every product you create. It doesn't have a long life. And so if you want to be relevant in the space, you have to keep evolving yourself. You have to keep learning. You have to keep looking for, are there better ways and cheaper ways of doing what we are doing? Because somebody else can come up with a better way. So one is, my starting the company is not just a company to make profit and then die after making good profit, but it was a company to make impact and impact generations behind me. And so if you want to leave that legacy and you have a long-term view, you have to keep evolving, you have to keep improving. You are never satisfied with where you are. You have to keep knowing what is happening. And all these technologies helps us as well. So yes, so that is it. You have to compete against yourself, And what made me come up with that company is, when you're within, because I am within Secure ID with my team members, we cannot see outside ourselves. So we create a company with younger people, a different mindset of thinking, fresh ideas, and they look at what we're doing and they said, oh, I can do this better. And that was the reason why we thought, okay, look, we're going to create our own disruptor, but we're going to have different sort of people in there, different mindsets, okay? And that has really helped.
Thank you so much, Ma. That's really wonderful. Please permit us to just sit into this just a little bit more. We have this ideology that the older generation feel like they know it all. We're not. You people don't. The younger generation. It seems like you people don't know as much as we do. So how do you leverage? Permit me to call them the Gen Z or the younger generation. How do you leverage their expertise? How do you manage them in your organization? What opportunities do you give to them? How do you have, or let me put it this way, do you have the younger generation? How many of them do you have, and how often do you allow them to make some of these decisions in your organization? What kind of opportunities have you created for them?
Okay. So, for instance, in the digital space, I think the age gap is between 23 and probably 29 or 30. The most the oldest person there is the CEO, who is in his late 30s. but most of the people there are between 23 and 29 or so. You allow them to, they like working remotely, so we allow them to work remotely as long as they deliver on the results. And my approach to them is, hey, I want to learn from you, because they know what is going on. So we approach them on a two-way basis. We create the structure that helps them to express themselves, but we learn from them as well. So the approach is, I want to learn from you, as opposed to us enforcing our own knowledge on them. So the thing is to approach them that way, and I think that has really worked, which gives them the opportunity to express themselves, because they are the ones that own this space, and they are they're in a better place to come up with the best ideas. So giving them that remote working, freedom, and approaching them from the angle of they are also your mentors. So it's a two-way. It's a two-way mentoring.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure the product managers in the house can relate with the idea of iteration, which is centering around the first question I asked, iteration, getting to that point where you are not sitting down and say, oh, I've achieved and I've made it, or, improving and improving every day on what you do, because the world is changing, technologies are changing. What is in vogue today, tomorrow will definitely not be in vogue, right? So you have to keep on, changing and then just growing and developing. All right, Ma. So the final question, so that we can let you go, is so on this call we have, majority of us are ladies, and then for the Ladies in Tech Africa program, of course, it was centering basically on ladies as well. And then during the course of your discussion, I heard you mention about the fact that at some point you had to step down just to take care of your children, So how have you been able to manage that aspect? I'm sure this is a question that you've heard over and over again. How have you been able to manage, your life as an innovator, a disruptor, a CEO, a mom, a wife? How have you been able to merge that roles? How have you ensured success in each of these areas of your life, Ma?
Well, I always say, don't be successful in one and not be successful in the other. So for me, I've always looked at it that true success is when you thrive, or when you work towards being successful in each of these roles. So I may not, as I'm wanting to be the best, build the best company, be the best CEO, I also want to be the best mom to my girls, and I want to be the best wife to my husband. Now, do I achieve all of that? Maybe not, but do I work towards it? Yes, I do. And that is what is important, ensuring that one success cannot override the other. That's not true success. And so when you realize that it's not, you're going to make sure that your multitasking, create some kind of relevance. So I want my company to be the best, but I also want my children to be the best. And I also want my home to be very well managed. So it's been a lot of hard work, a lot of multitasking. I don't think any woman would say that we have it, 100%, but make use of the support system that you have around you. When you're with the children, make sure that it's quality. When you're building the home, make sure you're doing it in a quality manner. When you're building your business, make sure that you're doing it in the best way possible as well. So it's all the multitasking and ensuring that, and knowing that true success is being successful in each of these pillars.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. This is so wonderful. You are just an example of an all-rounder, a wife, a mom, a CEO, winning and just succeeding in every aspect of your life. Thank you so much, Ma, for
You're
coming to speak
welcome.
to us. We are greatly motivated, inspired. In on the comment section right now, I'm seeing lots of our comments. Ladies just saying they're inspired, they're ready to do more. Thank you so much, Ma, for coming to speak to us and inspire us with your work. Thank you. We appreciate you, Ma.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ma, do you have some, final words for us before we let you go, Ma?
Just to congratulate again the organization that has put all of this together. Thank you very much. I think this is a space that that needs a lot of help. So I would say that embrace change to unlock new opportunities. I would say to our ladies out there, be the best in whatever you're doing. You never know who is watching you. Be the best, to add value, to create value. Don't just do things for doing sake. And you never know where you're going. Be excellent at what you do. Continually improve yourself. And then to say thank you very much again to the ladies in tech, the African missions, for putting this together. Thank you very much.
All right, Ma. So wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you, Ma. At
Thank
this
you.
point, we have to let her go. I know we have been inspired. I know we have been edified. I know we've gained valuable insights and gems. Yes, we are appreciating in the comment section. I don't know if you can say it, but thank you, Ma. We have to let you go at this time. All right. Congratulations to everyone once again, those of us who have made it this far. And I hope that we have been able to get one or two gems, insightful gems that you can begin to work with. One of the things that stood out in what she said was that you can strive to achieve success in every area of your life. No need to be successful in just one aspect. Maybe a successful CEO and then you're not successful in your home, or maybe a successful homemaker and then you're not successful at your job. In everything you do, ensure that you strive for success in every aspect of your life. All right, so we're going to be wrapping up with our discussion tonight, so that we can also have some time to go back and just meditate and think on some of the things that we have learned. I hope we're going to do that. Just a few updates and information, some of which are already shared at the beginning of the call. First, we have concluded the learning phase for the ladies in tech Africa. That's the first phase. And then we are transitioning to the next phase, which is the mentorship phase. In this phase, you get to work hands-on, practical experience with some of the things I have learned, deploying them into real life situations. I know some of us have already begun to work on certain projects and whatnot, right? I know some of us are already working on case studies, but just to assure you that we have your best interest at heart. We are rooting for you. We are ready to support you with everything necessary, everything possible, and everything required for you to become the best and make the most to do with what you have learned in the course of this program, right? Also, we're going to be having our examinations next week. It's a week long, meaning that you have between Monday to Friday to sit into your exams, and just take it. You can only attempt it once. More information on this will get to our mail box shortly. So let's do well to attempt it. And then if you have to go over some of the things I have learned, you can do well to visit the Incubator YouTube page. You'd have access to every of your course materials you can watch. You also have your LMS, you have your materials on your LMS as well. You can do well to go through them and ensure that you have a very good understanding of what you have learned so far. You also have your training assistants in each of the classes to help you navigate whatever issues that you may be experiencing. So make do with them, reach out to them if you have any issues, any challenges, and then they will always be ready to help you out. All right, I believe we have had a wonderful time this evening. I don't want us to extend it too much so that we can also have time to some of the things that we have learned, right? Let's have a wonderful evening. Please also be on the lookout on your mailboxes, your Telegram pages, your class pages. Be on the lookout for information and ensure that you don't miss any information from us. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, ladies, for joining. I can see our names. I can see our classes. I can see us in the comment section. You can also do well to come back to watch this video. It's going to be live on our LinkedIn page. You can also do well to watch it just to gain one or two insights whenever you feel you need to. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. My name is Michelle. It was wonderful hosting us and anchoring this session. Looking forward to more impactful sessions in the future. Have a lovely night, everyone.
Have you ever wondered how digital skills can change lives? Do you know that over 60% Africans lack basic digital skills and over 4 billion people in the world lacks access to internet? And this has been a major obstacle in economic growth, social inclusion, and education. And this has held a lot of people back from reaching their full potential. This is where digital literacy advocacy comes in. We are on a mission to empower individuals in digital skills and positioning them well in this fourth industrial revolution. This is me inviting you to join our team of digital literacy ambassadors, changing the narrative and bringing this into reality. Imagine the impact you could have made by helping just one person gain a digital skill. By doing that, you would help the person's income by 10% and the prospect for employment by 25%. As an ambassador, you would help the person to become much more inclined and understand the importance of technology, enhancing this world that we are. Are you ready to make a difference? Join us as a tech ambassador to create a digitally empowered society.